right. Well, Sheriff, there's an awful lot going on in our county, in our world, in our country. On behalf of Celebration, thank you so much for giving us part of your time today.
Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Looking forward to the discussion.
Well, I want to talk to you today about fear, and as you look around the United States, certainly probably here in our own community, anxiety. You got the pandemic going on, and then you've got racial tension that's really sprung up. So it's no surprise, I don't think, that some people would look at our circumstance and just see hopelessness. As you go about your business, how are you seeing hopelessness in our own community?
Well, as you said, there's a great deal of anxiety out there, and it's manifesting in so many ways. The thing that we are very cognizant of, obviously, is the quarantine. And when you have, unfortunately, we have a domestic violence problem in Tallahassee, Leon County. The culture that people come from informs their either the myths that they have or the idea they have about law enforcement and about our community as a whole. And even before then, we had vast parts of our community that were in dire need of food. We have food deserts. We recognize that. See, what people are looking for is, what is it that we can hang on to? Is there a truth in our community that's always true, that no matter what you say or what happens, this is always going to be true? And that kind of brings me to my faith.
We've got a situation now where racism, whether we're comfortable with that discussion or not, racism is very much on the table of conversation. How do you see people's past experiences, their fears from their past, contributing to racism?
I see it in just about every aspect of situation where people are either misuse their power or talk down to other people or don't respect other cultures. One of my good friends passed away a few years ago. His father was in the Klan. His interactions and stuff with African Americans, he believed what he was told when he was a kid. As he and I got to know each other, after we worked together for 20 years, I think, or more. One day during those 20 years, he said, Mac, I never knew black people. I never took the time to know them until I started working with you and the other officers, and what I was taught was wrong. And it took me a long time to realize that. And that's what's, I think, in my mind anyway, somewhat pervasive today, why you don't even realize that you have those feelings. And that's why we try to do some training here in the Leon County Sheriff's Office about cultures and about differences.
We talked earlier, you grew up in Mississippi and Chicago.
Yes.
Two places that are no strangers to racial conflict.
Right. My wife and I get in discussions about this quite often. She grew up in the rural parts of Leon County out in Mississippi. She talks about Mississippi and all the lynchings and hangings and that kind of thing. And I tell her, go back and read your history. They hang more people in Florida than any other place in the United States.
So now here you are as a leader in the community. You've seen racial conflict from every side, both what's happened from the law enforcement end to what's happening on the protester end. Tell me, how do you view what's happening right now?
Some of this brutality and from law enforcement professionals around the country isn't new. That it's being filmed more than it ever has been before. I remember as a kid on a bus in Chicago at the age of 12 trying to integrate schools there. The police stopped the bus and they come on the bus with billy clubs and mace, and they started clearing the bus. For no reason then we were trying to do what I thought the law said, and there was a march down to the police department in Chicago and demanded that the police be accountable. That happened when I was 12 years old, and we're still seeing that today. I often think that people in the community look at these things the wrong way. They often march and demand things from the police department. And I can tell you the police chief can't grant them the things they're looking for. You have to start at the legislative level, looking at the laws that are on the books and making sure those laws are, in fact, applied equally.
I'm asking myself, how can I be a part of being a solution to the challenges of fear and race that I see everywhere? And I'm like, what do I do about this? I mean, surely there's some way that I can have some positive effect on what's going on. What would you tell me to do? What's the role that I get to play?
Well, we all get to play. I mean, we all get to play that role, and that is, you have a sphere of influence that's around you. You're not a small person. None of us are small people. None of us are, like you said, mediocre or anything like that. All of us are children of God, and we have an opportunity to, wherever we meet people, to let that light shine and to let people know who we are.
Sheriff, I tell you, I appreciate your insight, your time, your stories, and I want to say thank you for making this investment into the people of Celebration Baptist Church. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm happy to do it. If you want to talk about the Lord, I can do it all day, so we're good there, man.